Hello everyone. In the previous videos, we understood how the language models work, how we use them in the real application, and how search with the RAG helps connect the AI system with the trusted knowledge. So until now, most of our discussion was focused on the text because that is how many people first experience AI. We type a question, the model processes the prompt, and then it gives us a text response. But in the real world, information does not always come as the text because sometimes the important context is inside an image or a screenshot, a scanned document, or even a voice conversation. And because of this, modern AI is now moving towards or beyond simple text interaction into something more natural or much closer to how humans actually communicate. So today, users don't always want to type the long prompts to explain a problem because in many situations, it is much easier to just upload a screenshot or share a dashboard or speak naturally with a voice assistant instead of describing everything manually. And this shift is changing how AI applications are designed because every type of interaction brings the different requirements. A normal text chatbot behaves very different from a voice assistant because in the voice interactions need fast responses and natural timing, while image understanding and the image generation solve completely different problems, since one focuses on analyzing the visual information and other focuses on creating it. And once we move into the video generation, the complexity increases even further because now the system must manage the movement, the timing, the consistency across the many frames instead of just one frame or one image. So in this video, we are going to understand how AI systems are expanding beyond text and becoming more multimodal. We, so in this video, we are going to understand how AI systems are expanding beyond text and becoming more multimodal. We will discuss the multimodal AI, vision language models, image and video generation, and finally the voice AI with the real-time AI. Now, the goal is not just to understand the technology itself, but also to understand where these capabilities are becoming important in enterprise application and what we need to think about when designing these type of systems. Now let's start with the multimodal AI. The word multimodal simply means the AI system can work with more than one type of input or output. So instead of processing only text, the model may also work with the images, audio, or the video. And this is important because the humans naturally communicate using the multiple forms of information together. We read documents, look at the visuals, listen to the conversation, and understand the context from many different formats at the same time. So modern AI systems are now moving in a very similar direction. So instead of forcing users to convert everything into text before interacting with the AI, multimodal systems allow people to work more naturally with the information they already have. So rather than typing a long explanation about an Azure issue, someone may simply upload a screenshot and ask the model what went wrong, while other user may share a business chart and ask for a quick summary of the trend without manually explaining the entire dashboard. In the same way, someone working with the scanned forms or the receipts may directly ask the AI to extract the information from the image itself. So the interaction starts feeling less like using a traditional software tool and more like working with an assistant that can understand different forms of information together. Now, many modern models are already moving in this direction. For example, GPT 5.5 supports both text and images. Gemini models are designed for multimodal use cases, and 5 models support text, audio, and the vision together. Now, what this really means is that the AI systems are becoming more flexible in how the users communicate with them because instead of treating AI as only a text interface, we can now think about it as a system that understands the information in a much broader and more natural way. So this becomes especially useful in enterprise environment because organizations do not store knowledge only in the written document. Important information may exist inside the architectural diagrams, scanned contracts, operational dashboards, or even the recorded calls, which means users often need help understanding the information that is not purely text based. So a multimodal AI system helps bridge this gap by allowing the users to interact with the system using the same format they already work in the real life. Also, at the same time, multimodal AI also introduces new challenges because every type of interaction has a different quality, latency, and cost requirement. So, evaluating a text response is very different from evaluating a image based answer. And building a voice assistant is also very different from building a document assistant. So, while multimodal AI makes the user experience more natural, it also requires more careful architecture and system design behind the scenes. Now let's move into the vision language models, often called as the VLMs. So in the previous topic, we discussed multimodal AI in general, where a system can work with the different types of information together. So a vision language model is more focused because it specifically combines the visual understanding with the language reasoning, which means the model can look at the image and then explain or reason about what it sees using the natural language. And this becomes extremely useful because many real world problems are visual in nature. So in cloud and DevOps environment, engineers constantly work with the architectural diagrams, dashboard, monitoring, graphs, and error screenshots. While in the business operations, people regularly work with the invoices, forms, and the scanned reports. So instead of manually analyzing all this information, users can now ask AI to help interpret what is visible inside the image. For example, someone may upload an Azure architectural diagram and ask the model to identify the possible security risk. And the AI may notice that an application appears publicly exposed or that design does not allow or show the private endpoint or logging requirements or components. So in the same way, a user analyzing a dashboard may ask the AI to explain the trends or anomalies directly from the chart without manually describing every metric. So the model is not only reading the text anymore because it is combining the visual context and the user's instruction, then generating a meaningful response. Now, the current examples of the vision capable models include the GPT 5.5, Gemini, and the Claude. While smaller models like Microsoft 5 for multimodal also support the text, vision, and audio together, which becomes very useful when lower cost or lower latency is important. But even though these systems are powerful, but they are still not perfect because a VLM may misunderstand a complex diagram, miss small details, or incorrectly interpret text inside an image. And because of this, important decisions should be validated by humans. So the real value of the VLM is not that they completely replace the human review, but they significantly improve how quickly the users can analyze the visual information and extract the useful insight from it. Now let's talk about the image generation. So earlier we discussed models that understand the images, but the image generation is different because now the AI creates a new visual content instead of only analyzing the existing visuals. So in simple words, the model takes a prompt and generates an image based on that instruction. So this area has become very popular because it allows the user to quickly create the visual concepts, marketing material, or creative content without starting from scratch. So instead of spending the hours creating an early design manually, users can generate the visual ideas much faster and then refine them further based on what they need. So the image generation is no longer only about the creativity because it is increasingly becoming part of the normal business workflow as well. And today different image generation models are available for different type of use cases. Like GPT image 2 supports the image creation and editing workflows, Gemini can support the multi-model generation scenarios, and Adobe Firefly is often preferred in the environment where the commercial safety and the licensing are important. And at the same time, good image generation still depends heavily on the prompt quality because the output improves when the instructions become more clear and detailed. Things like the visual style, aspect ratio, and the brand consistency becomes very important, especially when the generated content is being used for business purpose. Organization also need to think carefully about responsible usage because AI generated visuals can sometimes look extremely realistic, which creates the concern about copywriting, misinformation, and brand protection. So even though the image generation is powerful, good results still depend on the careful prompting, proper review, and responsible use. Now let's move into the video generation, which takes the idea even further, because instead of generating a single image, the AI now creates the moving visual content. And this becomes much more complex since the system must maintain the consistency across the multiple frames while also handling the movement, timing, and visual transition in a natural way. And this technology is growing very quickly because it can reduce the effort required for early stage content creation and storytelling. So instead of producing a complete professional video from day one, teams can first generate rough visual concepts, animated storyboard, or short simulation clips to quickly explore ideas before investing more time and money into the full production work. So the current examples include the Google Veo, Runaway Gen 4, and Adobe Firefly Video. So OpenAI's Sora also demonstrated how advanced this space has become. Although the organization should always check availability and the licensing before planning the production use around these specific models. And compared to the image generation, video generation requires much more processing because the AI must keep the object, scenes, and motion consistent over the time. And this is why the current system can still struggle with realistic movement, object consistency, and visual artifacts in the longer scenes. So while the technology is impressive, production use still requires editing, quality review, and proper human oversight. Just like image creation, organization also need to think carefully about responsible usage because a realistic generated video can easily be misunderstood as a real footage. So finally, let's talk about voice AI and real-time AI because this is where the AI interactions start feeling much more human. Until now, we mostly discussed about typing, images, and the visuals, but voice changes the experience completely because users can simply speak naturally with the system instead of typing the prompt manually. So the voice AI allows the user to communicate using speech, while the real-time AI focuses on making that interaction fast enough to feel like a live conversation. And this becomes especially important for customer support, training, or conversational enterprise systems because the user expect the interaction to feel smooth and natural instead of delayed and robotic kind of. For example, instead of typing the question into a chatbot, a customer may directly speak with an AI powered insurance assistant that will listen to the request, check the information using the RAG or connected tools, and then respond back conversationally using voice. And from the user's perspective, this feels simple and natural. But technically, it is much harder than a normal chatbot because the latency becomes extremely important. So, in a text conversation, waiting a few seconds may still feel acceptable, but in a live voice interaction, even a small delay can make the experience feel awkward. And the system also need to understand the pauses, interruptions, and the background noises while responding naturally in the real time. So the traditional voice system often followed a pipeline approach where the speech was first converted into text, then processed by the language model, and finally converted back into the speech again. This still works today, but the newer real time models are now handling audio interactions more directly, which makes conversation feel smoother and much more natural. So the examples in this space include the OpenAI GPT Real Time, Google Gemini Live, and Azure AI Foundry Voice Live. So these systems are designed for the low latency conversational experience where AI can listen, reason, and respond almost instantly. So in an enterprise environment, this becomes very powerful when combined with the tools and the RAG because the assistant can now not only speak naturally but can also retrieve the information or specific business information and help the user complete the task during the conversation itself. But the production voice AI systems still require careful design because we need proper testing, safety control, and escalation paths to the human, especially when the customers or sensitive information are involved. So the important idea here is that AI makes interaction more natural, while real-time AI makes it feel truly conversational. Now, let's connect everything together. In this video, we moved beyond traditional text-based AI and explored how modern AI systems are becoming much more multimodal. We discussed how AI can work with images, audio, and video instead of just the text. We understood how the vision language models help analyze the visual information, how the image and video generation models create the new content, and how the voice AI with the real time AI enables natural conversation. So, the main message is simple: AI is no longer limited to typing questions and repeating text answers because users now expect to upload the screenshots, analyze visuals, and speak naturally with the assistant in the same way they interact with the people in the real life. And this makes AI systems more useful and more human like. But it also introduces the new challenge around the latency, safety, cost, and evaluation. Now, different experiences require different architectural decisions, which means a voice assistant, a document assistant, and an image generation application all need different design approaches. So, as the AI continues moving beyond text, the real focus should not only be on the model themselves, but also on designing safe, useful, and reliable user experience around them. So that's all for this video. In the next video, we'll continue building on this foundation and move into another very important area of generative AI, where we'll understand how AI agent works, how they use the tools, and how they can perform more advanced tasks in the real applications. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.